Hello there.
Start.
War. Start.
Start.
War.
One.
Start.
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 Start. Start.
Start.
War. Start.
Start.
War. Start.
Start.
War.
Start.
War.
Start.
War. Start. War. Start.
War.
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 Start. Start. War. War.
War.
War. War.
War. War.
Start. War. 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 Start.
War. Start.
War.
Start. Start. Start.
Start.
War.
Start.
War. Start.
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 War.
Start.
War. War. Start. Start.
War. War.
Start. 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 War. War.
Start. Start.
Start. Start. Start. War. War.
Start.
Start. Start. War. Start. Start.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! Time to conquer Earth!
Alpha, Reader's Escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
What I remember about the rise of the Empire is how quiet it was. During the waning hours of the Clone Wars, the 501st Legion was discreetly transferred back to Coruscant. It was a silent trip.
Save it for the enemy!
We all knew what was about to happen, what we're about to do.
Knock it off!
Did we have any doubts? Any private, traitorous thoughts? Perhaps, but no one said a word. Not on the flight to Coruscant, not when Order 66 came down, and not when we marched into the Jedi Temple. Not a word.
I don't know. Call me crazy, but I don't think they deserve to have their bright futures ruined by a momentary, minute, never to be repeated lapse of judgment.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Hello, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to Jedi Business. How's everybody doing? I want to start off this stream with heartfelt RIP Carl Weathers. That guy was a legend. I hadn't seen all of the Rocky movies, but I was a big fan of him in Mandalorian. He did a great job in that show. And he just seemed like an all-around good dude. And everybody that knew him, you know, was touched by him. This guy, he made a big impact on, like, Stallone's life and Gina Carano's. Like, he was a big supporter of her, especially when Disney, you know, dragged her name through the mud. He was still on her side. Some people that I thought would be more on her side never even spoke about what happened, and I was disappointed by that. But this guy, like, he wasn't afraid to say what he thought about, you know, certain things. And I just think it's a big loss. This guy was 76, could have lived, you know, a lot longer. I don't know what happened. His family said he died peacefully in his sleep, so that's at least a blessing. He deserved that much. Like, I'm glad he didn't suffer. So again, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. The other thing I wanted to talk about today was just the whole Asajj Ventress thing. We've seen this trailer for the Bad Batch come out, this new season is supposed to be the final season of Bad Batch, and Asajj Ventress shows up in the trailer. She's got longer hair, so it's after everything that's gone down. Like, this is set after the Clone Wars, but it's also, by all accounts, set after the novel that she was in called Dark Disciple with Quinlan Voss. They fall in love, and she sacrifices her life at the end of the book. But this show is set after that book, so everyone's speculating now, like online, is she is her death being retconned now? Like, Disney's done this already a few times after they nixed the EU novels. Said, okay, none of this is canon. We're going to come out with our own stuff. They said everything from here on is going to be interwoven. It's going to be canon, and it's going to be set in stone. So for a while, they were adhering to their canon, but after a little bit, we started seeing cracks. They started contradicting things. For instance, A New Dawn novel contradicts things in Rebels. Cham Syndulla, Hera's father, he's totally different in the story than he is in the book. And then, well, Thrawn, we get. I'm not even going to. Yeah, I don't even know if I can talk about Thrawn. It's so freaking different from the original Thrawn, from the Heir to the Empire trilogy. This is like a watered down version that Disney has now, which is a shame because it's by the same author. It's by Timothy Zahn. He's changed it, but I don't know how much of it was his decision and how much of it was executives at Disney. Pablo Hidalgo, the story group, their decisions. They've been making a lot of bad ones. And other things like the Ahsoka novel that came out by E.K. Johnston was it contradicts some, like, I think she has her lightsabers that she had before, like the white ones in there when she, or vice versa. Like, she was, something. I remember somebody saying that something happened in that novel that contradicts something in the series. And there's just been a bunch of little things. Kanan's origin, his everything that went down at the temple was changed from how it went down in the comics. A lot of little things. And then we get stuff like the lightsabers, the way the colors work is based off of emotion now, when before it was just the color of the crystals that they put in their lightsabers that made them the color the blade was, which made more sense. I'll be honest. Why the Sith always use red, I don't know. That's just a thing with them. But yeah, just a bunch of things that I don't care for. The chips in the clones' heads. I think it was better before, when there were no chips and it was just a decision that they had to make. Like, they were brainwashed essentially into making the decision to kill the people they were fighting alongside during the Clone Wars. And we get to see a good adaptation of that, a good like retrospective on that in the Battlefront games. The second Battlefront from 2005 illustrates this perfectly because we get a narration from the clones, and I get a snippet of that in one of the clips I play. The Peter Griffin writing in the journal, that's from Battlefront 2, the clone speaking. So there is a hint of regret in his voice, like, oh, we did a really bad thing, I think. But, good soldiers follow orders, as they say in the 2008 Clone Wars. But yeah, it's a lot of things that contradict each other that have made people just say, why didn't you just stick with the EU novel? Like, a lot of that was good, even though there were some little contradictions in that. they, for the most part, stayed consistent with the story and the characters, and it was fun. I loved reading everything from the EU. I can't recall a book that I was bored by or, just hated. It was all part of one story to me, and I was just, one by one going through those novels because there's this whole huge timeline, and I started from the prequels and worked my way up to the sequel era. Not the sequel era, sorry, the original trilogy era, and then just went on from there because there's a lot of books after the original trilogy that come. Fate of the Jedi came later, but before that was New Jedi Order. There was Legacy of the Force, then Fate of the Jedi. There's so many series. The Darkness trilogy. I think it's called Dark Crystal, something like that. There's one with Durga the Hutt that I really liked. Oh, Dark Saber, that might be it. Yeah. And there's a lot of good stuff with Maul. And there's the Darth Plagueis novel, which I have already made a video on. I love that novel. There's the Darth Bane trilogy that takes place thousands of years before the movies. That's really good. I still need to read the Old Republic novels. I haven't read, like, I have Revan on my TBR list right now. There's a Revan one. And then there's another one with Malgus, I believe. Yeah, Deceived, it's called. I just got that novel that was unpublished back in the day that they just put on Amazon for a little while, and then it got taken down. It's called The Heart of the Jedi. I haven't read that. Like, I barely touched that because that's kind of a collector's item now since it was only available to buy for a little while. Disney, I guess, took it down. Like, made Amazon take it down. Yeah, they probably threatened action against them for that. Because it was embarrassing for Disney because their all not New Republic, their High Republic novels weren't selling at all. Like, it's just, yeah, it was just embarrassing because this novel from the EU, that this unpublished novel was destroying the sales, like, just killing it. So they had to shut it down because it was embarrassing them. That's my theory, and that's the theory of a lot of people online. But yeah, this most of the novels I've read, there's still some on my TBR pile. There's a Lando Calrissian trilogy. He goes on adventures with. He actually has a droid co-pilot in the old novels, but it's a male. So they kind of stole some stuff from the old novels in the in the new. The Mind Harp of Sharu, I think it's called. He kind of in the movie Solo, he mentions something that takes place in one of the novels when he's giving his little he's making his little log, log journal on the ship. But I want to take a look at this trailer and see if I can figure out, like, the context of how she's returning. If she's returning and it's not like a flashback or something, okay, then it's a contradiction to what they've already done. But yeah, I don't know if there's even any point. But I'm gonna check it out anyway. It looks kind of interesting. I might check it out.
Hold on! We've got troopers up top. We're running out of road!
Not exactly a stealth exit, boys.
Let's move!
I thought that the end of the war would mean an end to losing more of our brothers. But I was wrong. We can't just walk away. Not with the Empire imprisoning the kid.
He the guy who plays the clones in the Clone Wars and whatnot, the Bad Batch and Rebels, he does a good job, but I think Tamora Morrison's voice is slightly better. I still love hearing those the voiceovers in Battlefront.
Secure her in a cell. Omega's been waiting for us a long time. Our mission is not over yet.
There is nothing of greater importance to secure the future of this empire.
Is that Ian McDermott back as the Emperor?
Whatever is needed to accomplish this goal, you will have it.
I know he played him in Rebels for a little bit. That sounds like him.
They are coming. For all of you.
Okay, so we have Cad Bane returning. We have the Republic Commandos. That armor's awesome. And then what?
Give us a real challenge. Everyone down! We're not big on following orders.
I wasn't planning on killing you.
Okay, so they tell us right off the bat, this is Asajj Ventress speaking.
But you're making it very tempting.
Okay, who's she fighting here? By the blue bolts firing at her, it's probably clones. I don't remember her having a yellow lightsaber. Wait a minute, let me look at this. What's that armor she's got on? Got some kind of insignia. Wait, I gotta stop it at just the right moment. I don't know what that insignia is. I thought at first that it was the Empire logo, but it's not. Okay, so she might be the only reason I even watched this, because she's one of the most interesting characters in Star Wars, like, in general. I was reading the comics back in 2005, around the time of Revenge of the Sith, and she was in a bunch of the comics. Just one of the most interesting characters. I like her story because she kind of skirts between the light and the dark, but she's mostly dark. But there have been times where they hint at her maybe turning over a new leaf, but she chooses not to. You know, it's that intriguing character prospect where they have an opportunity to turn from their dark path. So there's always a chance, but they choose not to. And in Disney's case, they turned her back to the light side before she died in Dark Disciple. So I don't know what they're going to do with her in this. Yeah, I have no idea. She was pretty badass in the 2003 Clone Wars, where she fought Anakin. That's how he got the little scar, on his eye that's in the movies. It was his fight with her, and they showed in the comics too. So that's always been canon, is where he got that scar. It was from Asajj Ventress. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to show her ultimate fate in this or not. Yeah, we'll have to see. So a lot of speculation. Just a little bit of excitement for me because I like this character. That's there's not much else out of Star Wars coming out that I'm even intrigued by. Skeleton Crew, maybe, because I don't know anything about it except that it's some kids, I guess, going on an adventure. That's all I've heard, really, like a ragtag group of kids. But yeah. I'll let you know if I hear anything about that. The Acolytes, we haven't seen anything from that really, but we know kind of what's going on with that. It's a dark apprentice kind of story. Yeah, I just don't trust Disney when it comes to those kind of stories. I'd rather Drew Karpyshyn just come out and write his own screenplay and put it out like Zack Snyder did with Rebel Moon, only better. Rebel Moon was not good. But Drew Karpyshyn, the guy who wrote the Darth Bane trilogy and a lot of the Old Republic stuff, Knights of the Old Republic stuff, I would trust him with a dark Star Wars story, not freaking Kathleen Kennedy or her story group. Oh, man.
The new Star Wars was not as good as everyone thought it was. It may seem fun to go back and recycle the past we loved, but we end up with no sustenance. Instead of a fresh new Star Wars, we want the old, just recycled and plopped in our tummies.
Did you come back to say you forgive me? To save my soul?
You want forgiveness? Get religion. That all you got? I'm really gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
I'm sure you are. The Resistance is dead. The war is over. And when I kill you, I will have killed the last Jedi.
You should have thought of that earlier. You're trash, Kylo Ren. How'd that get in there? Oh, don't cry.
See you, chump.